Hello. If you are a normal person who has a friend that's a realtor who's involved in the big picture at the National Association, you've probably watched all of your social feed be completely full of realtors together for the last week. If you don't have those friends, then hello, watch my feed. As the end of the conference occurred, there was this interesting moment that I had to share with y'all because it was just a full encapsulation of the world right now, where the leading emotion right now tends to be fear. And sometimes your fear is going to impede somebody else's progress. Just be real about it. And in fact, what really jumped me this morning is that my daily devotion, let me find the scripture that came up, because if y'all didn't know this, God will talk to you all the time. And you just pay this much attention and you'll be like, seriously, dude? Because, So today in my devotion, it's in Proverbs 18:20, it said, words satisfy the soul as food satisfies the stomach. The right words on a person's lips bring satisfaction. So what did that have to do with this conversation that happened in San Francisco? Not San Francisco, San Diego. We were in San Diego. Look, I'm still getting back. My eyes are puffy. Cut me some slack. So my fellow vice president, Tommy Choi, and I were having supper on the last night in San Diego. And yes, we were avoiding all of you, hundreds of thousands of realtors, and we love you so much. But he and I never get to sit down together and just be friends because we are obviously doing other things. So we went to go have supper and we were eating at 5 o'clock like the old people. Whoop, that's how you know you got a good friend. They will eat the early bird special with you. And we had called an Uber. So in the Uber ride, being good realtors, we were striking up conversation. And the driver mentioned that she had had a lot of realtors in her car for days upon days. And so, of course, that led us to saying, we hope they were nice. We hope they were cool and kind and gracious. And she said they were all fine. And then she'd made a comment that struck me and it struck Tommy. In fact, we were sitting in the back seat elbowing each other. The lady who was driving our Uber is a disabled veteran. And her boyfriend, who she, may or may not marry at some point, we heard that story too, but that's a different discussion, is also an active serving military member. And she made mention that because the market is so hot, there's no reason for her to even think about buying. And of course, I asked her why. And she said that there were so many realtors in her car who told her it was hopeless. All right, I'm going to tell y'all something. All realtors are not created equal. Go ahead and get mad at me if you want to, but they're not. And our job as realtors is to help people see where the hope is and to see where the opportunity is and figure out a solution. In fact, because I say not all realtors are created equal, that's the reason that I have this quote behind my desk. There are a million fish in the sea, but I am a mermaid. And frankly, that's what it means to be the realtor who's going to ask questions and look for solutions. Because a good realtor is not an app. A good realtor is not a fake internet website. And they're also not going to fall into the trap of everybody else's opinions. There's a lot of information out there right now, but a disabled veteran, oh my goodness, she's going to get the best deal ever from the VA. Now, not every realtor understands VA loans. So if you're watching this and you are a regular person and you want to figure things out, you've got to ask better interviewing questions of the realtor before you pick somebody who just happens to be your brother-in-law's best friend from college who just got his license. And I'm not slamming an early career realtor. I was one too many moons ago. But a great realtor is going to ask questions. And in fact, if they don't know because they're new, they're going to have a broker or a mentor who will be at their side to help them figure out solutions. Because otherwise you wind up with this scenario where this disabled veteran had given up the idea of buying until she got me and Tommy in her car. She had said that these realtors had taken all the hope away because they told her that there's all this hedge fund money buying all the houses. And yes, there's an issue right now where hedge funds and institutional buyers are buying too many houses. I'm frustrated about it too, but there are home sellers out there who would rather sell a house to their neighbor than to a hedge fund, y'all. And as your realtor here in Concord, Cabarrus County, Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm going to ask my sellers if they want to had this opportunity? Would they rather sell to a neighbor than a hedge fund? Because a seller can. That's not a protected class. That's not a fair housing violation. It's a question about the ownership. Do you want to have another renter next door, which is fine. Renters need a place to live too. But we've got to remember that there are people who are getting blocked from home ownership, and it's not just the hedge funds. It could be that they talked to a realtor that told them they didn't have a chance. After Tommy and I talked to this lady, she realized that she does have benefits and that there are realtors out there who love veterans and understand the VA process and will help her. And I told her, you might lose 10 times in multiple offers. That's part of how this works right now. But a great realtor is going to help you get past that fear and follow John Wayne. See, another one of my quotes I keep at my desk: courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. Because sometimes when you're a home buyer right now, you're going to have to keep saddling up. And why would you do that? Because, friends, realize this: we're in an era of escalating inflation, and we have to all acknowledge that. This is not a partisan statement, okay? This is math. Inflation is increasing. Do you realize that real estate is a hedge against inflation? I mean, it's a pure hedge. And if you're not an economics nerd, or you forgot economics class in college, or this didn't show up and that's on you, not them, the reality is everything else goes up. Your rents go up when you are a tenant. Your gas prices are going up. The cost of milk and bread and everything you buy at the grocery store is going up. I mean, eggs are up like 11% this year, which is why I'm building a chickshaw, but that's a different discussion. And so when all of those things go up, do you realize that if you're a homeowner, that's the one thing that's holding pretty stable right now? Now, your insurance might go up and your taxes might go up, which is why you better pick a realtor who's involved in watching what happens in the property tax arena in your area. But that house payment is going to be pretty stable. And yay, God bless America that we have the opportunity at ownership for so many people. So if you're a realtor, don't take that hope away. When you're having a conversation with somebody, don't tell them they don't have a chance. Don't tell them they don't have any hope. Dig in and figure it out. Do y'all realize how much down payment assistance money is going unused right now? Because many of the realtors out there have forgotten that it's there, or they haven't done the education. And I'm just going to tell y'all something here. And this is the truth on life, not just on real estate. Those who are interested in going after wisdom and going after education, they're never done attaining it. They're always chasing more. And so if you're a realtor and you don't know enough about the VA process, call your favorite local lender, not an app, not the internet, your local lender, and ask who can help you. One of the reasons that I have a great list of preferred lenders, I want to learn more so I can help more neighbors. One of my lending partners is Brian Floyd with Fairway Mortgage. Why do I lean on Brian for VA loans? Because Brian's a veteran. He understands and speaks a language that I'll never speak because I did not actively serve. Now, I want to make sure that any veteran I encounter is going to have the utmost in respect and service so that we can figure it out. And yes, it's hard. Yes, though, it is worth persevering because, y'all, this market is not going to get any better anytime soon if you're listening to the economic pundits. Why? Because demand continues to be high and supply continues to be low. And there's lots of reasons for all of that. But I'll tell you something else. Even if the markets do go down next year and we see economic hiccups, you're living in that primary residence for 5 and 10 and 15 years. Sometimes you just go ahead and suck it up and make it happen so that you will have a hedge against inflation. And if you're a realtor, I'm going to challenge y'all right now, get out of fear. And remember that the words that you give to the public are either going to encourage people to move forward or they're going to pull people backwards. And this applies in leadership too. This applies in life. I have to challenge myself on this all the time because I can fall into a negative space too. I'm not anything special. I'm just somebody who's going to fight through it every day. You know why? Because there are neighbors in my community that need a chance. When I was pulling up properties this morning, for one of my clients, I found a really weird looking house in Concord that actually has a huge amount of opportunity. So I'm going to call the people on my list who are interested in doing a little bit of fixer upper work because it's going to be a triplex. And what a perfect first time home buyer opportunity. And by the way, if you're a veteran, did you know that your first house doesn't have to be single family? It could be a duplex. Live in one side, rent the other. FHA, same way. What about a triplex? Yes. As realtors, we have to do a better job as well at talking to people out about the opportunity beyond today. So are we helping everybody see that there's an empire available in real estate? And by the way, that empire is not about me being Scrooge McDuck rolling around in a bathtub full of money. It's about helping people figure out that if they own that triplex, that first time buyer buys that triplex, your rent is more than the cost of this property 9 times out of 10, because do y'all see what these rentals are going for? Holy smokes. But those other 2 units, did you realize that you might be providing a clean, decent place to live for a tenant in your community? We all know there's a shortage of workforce housing, and the affordability crisis is not going anywhere anytime soon. Hello, inflation. Hello, everything getting more expensive. And spoiler alert, y'all, the hedge funds that are building these giant, expensive complexes full of granite, stainless steel, and floor-to-ceiling glass, they're beautiful. But it is investors like me, a little regular old somebody here in Cabarrus County, that are providing the ones that are going to be more affordable to our neighbors. This makes sense. So I'm going to tell y'all where I started with this. Is hearing that another realtor took somebody's hope away. And I'm just going to tell you, I don't think she maliciously did it. I think she fell into the trap of fear. So friends, when you find yourself falling into the trap of fear, get your sleeves rolled up and army crawl back out of that. Call me, call Tommy, call another realtor, call an educator, go to a class, go to your local association of realtors, and go to the holiday gala and get around people who believe in real estate. Because if you, as a realtor, don't believe in what you're doing, how in the world are your neighbors going to be helped? How are we going to help bridge this wealth gap that's going on? How are we going to give our neighbors more financial stability? It's real estate that does that. There are so many pathways out there. My job is not to tell somebody it's hopeless, it's to tell them we'll figure it out, because I, as a realtor, am a professional problem solver. And when she was talking about all of this, and we were conversing about the fact that the branches that she and her boyfriend are in, and I was able to share being in North Carolina, where we are, frankly, the nation's most military-friendly state. Y'all can fight me on that, but we got Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune, and we love our veterans and our active duty here in North Carolina. But I handed her my card, and I said, I can't help you myself personally. I'm not licensed in the state of California. But when you're ready, you're going to send me a text or you're going to call me. And I've got the realtor that's going to hold your hand and help you figure out how you can take advantage of those veterans benefits that you have. And that's also why I go to conferences, y'all. I go to learn things. I go to affect change. I want to be a voice at the table on the VA loans and the FHA loans. And what are we doing to make sure that every neighbor in every zip code has a chance at this? I go for those big level issues, but I also go to meet fellow realtors who believe this too, that who are also a mermaid in the sea of 1.5 million realtors, so that when this veteran reaches out, I've got a name for her. And by the way, Tommy will back me up on this. We were both feeling really filled up, because one thing you should know about realtors is that our best moments come from other people feeling hope through real estate. She said, I got a lot of cards this week, but I'm keeping yours. I said, that's fantastic. I need you to keep it and let me know so that I can connect you to the right person when the time is right. And frankly, the reason I keep educating in real estate, y'all, is because until all realtors are willing to be that hopeful resource, regardless of price point, regardless of who that neighbor is, we got to keep going. So if you're a realtor, keep going. And if you're in the public and you own a house, you give thanks to the realtors who have fought for that right. And if you are thinking about buying, or you're not sure if it's a good time to invest, and you're not sure if this makes any sense at all, you call a local realtor. And if you're in Cabarrus County, you can call me. And if you're not, you call me anyway, because I got somebody. Because this matters. Real estate matters. Having hedges against inflation will give you some hope going into the next era and beyond. And remember, there's a reason you got to lean into the word, y'all. You got to remember that your words matter, and you should always be out there trying to attain a little more knowledge. I'll see y'all next time.